Alright, these are going to be the easiest earrings I'm going to show you how to make today. Because these are going to be the only earrings I'm going to show you how to make today. If you're not making these earrings, what are you doing with your life? They're so easy. What is your excuse? You have none. This is 8mm. It's not completely round. It's kind of an oval flat howlite, or it looks like howlite. I think it is. Picture Jasper, 6mm. Slightly less. It could be like 5mm, but these are little wood beads. But I like to do the 864 reverse snowman, like an upside down snowman. That's always cute. That's just what I say. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Anyway, this is a 20 gauge anti-copper, my favorite. And this works with 18. It probably works with 22, but 20 is pretty standard. So I've talked too much. Let's get moving with this thing. We have, I don't remember how to do this. I did it a week ago a couple times, and now I can't remember what I did. I'm going to cut a foot. I'm going to cut about 14 inches, a little more than a foot. That's like 30 centimeters for people in metric land. All right, so I'm going to put these guys on. Hope I remember how to do this. If I don't remember how to do this, then just go watch some basketball footage or something. Watch some Madonna videos. Let's see. I think we're going to bring these to the middle, right? Maybe? That sounds good. That sounds good to me. Let's do that. Bring them to the middle of the wire. Give yourself a good tight crimp on each side, and then turn each side into a loop. You can just do this simple like this, or if you want to, if you're afraid you can't do it with your fingers, you can take your round nose pliers, kind of roll it in, make it nice and good. This one. Don't make these too small. You can kind of see the size I'm making them. I'm making them about the same size as the smallest bead, maybe a little bigger. And I'm rolling them to get them tight. Now, I'm going to hold this like that, and I'm going to take this. Come on, camera. I'm going to take this and just wrap it really tightly around like that to hold it in its spot. I'm going to do the same thing down here. That's a good way to, before you do any design, if you have a top loop and a bottom loop, it's like a good way to anchor them. Just hold them tight and just kind of scarf them around themselves one time. And now no beads are going to force their way out no matter what you do. Everything's in place. And I got my nice earth tones. You could do this also with pretty colors with silver. I might do that next. Anyway, so we're going to do this standard thing I always do where we wrap this around diagonally around the bead and then go in the crevice in between the two beads. Come around diagonal across the next bead, go in the crevice behind. And this one will keep getting in your way. Just push him out of the way. Come around diagonal to the last bead, and then there you go. Now these two are together right here. This one got all crinkly, so I'm just gonna smooth them out. Now here's the easiest part, like right here, we're just going to make an S curve. This camera wants to focus. We're just going to make an S curve in the back, like that, and then just scarf it at the top. So let's do it. Bend the wire. You don't want to stick out too far so it looks like bat wings or something. You want to make it nice and elegant. Just kind of roll it in until you feel like it's good. And then come across. And here's the fun part. You can come across the front like this, and it gives it kind of a 3D look, like it's coming around. Now this is still sticking out too much for me. It looks less elegant. I'm gonna roll it a little, try to make it a little tighter here. And then I'm gonna make it a little tighter here. This is what I like about this copper, is nice and soft. Some of the silver has been too hard lately. you try to roll in nice curves and it tries to give you these little boxy kinks. But I'm going to do silver anyway just to show that you can do it. There we go. And scarf it around here. About a couple times. Here's in the back. I'm going to cut it halfway across the loop, a little less, just enough to tuck it. Give myself a little bit of end. Make sure you're not cutting the wrong part. You'll cut the whole piece in half. And then get my flat nose and just carefully. See, I left too much. I got to cut it one more time. I'm a stickler with this because when you get a nice clean tuck, you'll want to do it like that every time. You want to. The key is the angle and getting just enough of wire that you're not overshooting it. And now we're going to come diagonally down, and we're going to pinch it in. Just pinch it. Right, like that. Sometimes you do one at a time. Sometimes you do both at the same time. It depends what your angle is and how easily you're able to grab them. But you're basically folding them in and down into that little bowl that was made by the scarf, so they disappear. And then these guys just kind of play with them till you get them the way you want. But it's simple, but it's elegant. Notice this: my curves aren't perfect. They're not like, this isn't like if a computer were to measure the angles and everything, it wouldn't come out to the most perfect curves ever. But it's, to me, it's perfect because I made it, and I'm going to give it to someone, and they're going to love it. And so I say perfectimo, if that's a word in some language. I'll do the other one. You can watch twice. I noticed when doing this one, I didn't really need to come to the very middle because that one top wire ended up taking too much room. But just to be safe, let's just say go to the middle again, because trying to negotiate exactly where to place it is worrying too much. So again, here we are. Crimp. Whoops, they're trying to get away already. That's okay. Make your loop, press it tight. Make your loop on this side. Roll it in. Oh yeah, do that thing. Scarf it. Pull it real tight. This side. This is why I give it a little more of a loop at this one, because this one has to take the scarf at the top. Notice that your loop is weird and wonky. Just mess with it a little bit. Don't worry too much. But there's keys to straightening it out. You'll start to see if you make a lot of these. Anyway, come across diagonal. In the crevice behind, diagonal. In the crevice behind, diagonal. These two are together. Now let's see if I can make it reverse. These were going that way, so let's make these go this way. There we go. I'm just kind of doing this. I'm just molding it like a piece of clay. Like, I'm not really using tools, and there's really no right or wrong. You just get the hang of it. Just try to balance it. So, see, look at this one. That's coming up too high. That's too small. Just kind of mess with it. Get it more where you want it to be. Compare it to the other one. If you happen to make them both going the same way and you want them to be reversed like earrings, sometimes just finish it and then flip it over. And sometimes that'll look just as good. Scarf it. I'm just kidding, you guys. If you don't make these today, I won't be mad at you. I promise. Because I understand that you got bread and milk and eggs to buy. And you have your soap operas to watch. You have your stamp collecting to attend to. Alright, just kind of mess with it. When you're finished with the piece, just look around and make sure it's going straight from every angle that you want it to, and just mess with it. Kind of mold it like clay. Kind of make sure everything's turned the way you want it to. Ooh, here's a fun thing. Look at, I just realized this. Look at, you could separate these guys. Look at this. You can have them come out like in different ways. How much more could we do with that? Can we make them come out, make one come out a little higher than the other? Different in a few ways. Look at that. Ooh. Make one come around a little more. Make one come around a little. Oh, look at this. I'm inventing on the spot. You're going to think I planned to do this. It totally didn't. Looks kind of weird. I'm not sure I like it. But I bet I could make it look good, so I'll like it. Let's play with it a little more. If this is your first time playing with it like this, you might end up mangling it a little bit. In which case, I say, just keep making it over and over again. Or take the mangled one and tell everyone you meant to do that. And if they tell you, no, that's not, I can tell you didn't mean to do that, then just like pick them up and throw them over a piece of furniture, and then they'll agree with you. But do it in a nice way. I'm not advocating unkindness. So, there's our two. I'm going to go back to smushing these together because I'm just, that's what I originally planned. And that's how I have the other one going. But that's options for you. You guys can find ways to like separate them, make them look cool in ways I didn't even think of. Now wait, oh, sorry, they're supposed to, there we go. Now they're reversed. Wait a minute. I didn't do them reversed. No. Huh, they're still, whatever. Who cares? Put them on some ears. I just did this, this is 8mm jade, 6mm amethyst, 4mm, it's either lapis lazuli or sodalite. And this is 22 gauge silver, so it's a lot more flimsy. And I ended up with really box-shaped loops, so I had to go in there real carefully and just kind of mess with them very gently. Just kind of go like this, grab the parts. You grab the parts where there's like a corner and you try to flatten them out, and that actually makes the loop better. Now see, this loop is bigger, this is smaller, so I'm going to try to move it down a little bit. Just gently. Just going in multiple places. This is a little sharp right there. I'm going to try to flatten that, widen that a little. See? Can you see how that works? You can really gently play with your S-curve until you get it just the way you want. This is after I scarfed it and everything. Another thing I do is I take my fingernail and I try to get these diagonals right where I want them, so they're all lined up more evenly if they happen to get out of whack. Sometimes I'll even take the tool and just mess with them a little bit like that. But again, you're not going to have it perfect, but you just get it to the point where you feel good about it with 80%. If you try to get it 100%, then you're a machine, and you might as well just make corporate stuff for stores that's all perfect. Handmade has to have a tiny bit of an element of imperfection so you can prove you didn't steal it from Macy's or something like that. I'm not sure if that's a real thing, but it sounded good when I said it. So finally, on the fourth try, I figured out that you want to leave a little more wire at the top by the biggest bead where the big loop is. Like, so you want to do maybe 2/3 of the wire on this side, and then 1/3 of the wire coming down from the bottom, because this part is going to do the most work. It has to wrap all the way around and then come all the way back up. This part just has to go up. So if that made any sense. If it didn't, then, you know, just pretend I didn't say it. All right, so we're doing another one. Voila.